Hey guys, it's Chris Agos with complete-voiceover.com, and it's been a while since I've done a voiceover analysis video, so here's a new one for you. Shout out to my buddy Paul, who sent me this TV spot we're going to talk about. It's from Budweiser, and it aired nationally about 250 times in April, May, and maybe a little bit of June this year. And the voice actor makes some pretty interesting choices that I think we can all learn from, so stick around, we'll talk about it. Let's take a look at the first 20 seconds or so of this spot, see what it sounds like.
This Bud's for the Blues, the Reds, and the Warriors.
All right, so the first thing I think we should talk about is the casting choice. So this casting choice, I think, is really on brand for Budweiser. If you think about what Bud tends to do, they tend to rely on nostalgia, on emotion, on storytelling in their TV spots. Their creative is always really good, and this fits right in. So they've gone with a more mature voice, one who is much more of a storyteller and much less of an announcer. And I think that's a key decision that really adds to the success of this spot. So this voice actor, he's made a choice. He's made a choice about his projection, level of projection. And if you're not sure what projection means, basically it means the volume of your voice. So if you speak louder, you are projecting more. If you speak quieter, you are projecting less. This is a very low projection read that we're hearing here. Let's take another listen to it again.
This Bud's for the Blues.
You can hear that there's almost as much air in his voice as actual voice. So it's an interesting choice. I think it's a really good one if we're approaching a TV spot as we're going to tell a story.
This Bud's for the Magic, the Athletics, the Giants.
So at this point, the copywriter has given us a 3 to work with. And what is a 3? Well, it's a very common device that shows up in TV commercials all the time. Copywriters will write a set of 3 things, set of 3 nouns or 3 concepts or feelings, whatever, that we have to decide as voice talent what to do with those things. So there's a couple of ways you can go. You can go same, different, which is to say that you treat the first 2 the same way vocally, and you do something different on the third. You can also go same. And same actually works when you've got sort of a larger point that you're making. There's more to the thought. Often, 3s are their own thoughts. In this case, the talent chooses to go a little bit of a different way, and he goes same, different, same. Listen to it again.
For the Magic,
He goes down on magic.
the Athletics,
He brightens a little bit on athletics.
the Giants.
And then brings a nice, healthy dose of finality to that last one, the Giants. But then the copy throws us a curveball.
And the Jazz.
And they throw a 4 in there. And they throw in an and the Jazz. So it's a really good 3. And then there's the 4, which can be frustrating for voice talent. But this guy handles it pretty well. He hits us with an upward inflection on and the Jazz. The upward inflection makes us pay attention because remember, when we hear an upward inflection, our ears are tuned to anticipate that there's something coming next. And then on Jazz, he brings it down with a nice final inflection. And then the copy comes back with another set of 4.
This Bud's for the Trailblazers, the Braves, the Yankees, and the Angels.
So a very common way and a very thoughtful way of treating lists is to not look at them as a list, but to identify each item in that list as its own statement. And that's what this voice actor does. He puts a nice solid downward inflection on each one of those team names. By the way, you've picked up that these are all names of sports teams in the U.S., right? Right. And then at the end of the spot, he's got one last line, and he hits this again, this Bud's for the home team.
This Bud's for the home team.
And it's interesting because he's been hitting this on each of his statements. This Bud's comes up a couple of times. I think it comes up 3 times.
This Bud's for the Trailblazers.
And he hits this every time. What that does is it kind of gives us some consistency, some through line. So in other words, it's subtle, but it's kind of telling us by the end of the spot, don't pay attention so much to the this Bud's. You want to pay attention more to the message that follows this Bud's. Between the visuals and the team names, that's the message. That's where the message lives. And so by keeping this Bud's consistent throughout, I think it's almost as though the copywriter and the producers are kind of like, put that part aside. We want you to pay attention to what happens over here after the this Bud's. It's an interesting way to go about doing it. You don't see it very often. So that's it. Good work all around. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you soon.